So let's take a look at drawing a sphere and shading a sphere. I have my sketchbook, my stencil, and my pencil kit. I like to draw with my HB or B and then shade with 2B up to 6B. So I'm going to go with a B pencil. You're going to use this stencil or template, the one at the top that has a 2 that indicates 2 inches. So we're going to use this circle. And somewhere on your sketchbook page, let's say the light is going to come from this direction. So this could be candlelight, sun, artificial light, a light bulb. So let's say the light is going to come from this direction. So that means our shadow is going to be over here across from the light. I'm going to start with my B pencil, and I'm going to tilt my paper just a little bit. I'm going to hold my pencil, like I've mentioned, is a good way. It's not the exact way to do it. It's one way. Dropping your unsharpened pencil into your palm and closing your fingers allows you to get that soft grip. So you're not clutching your pencil like you would write. Then you're just going to get harsh lines. So I want to use the side of my pencil and create almost like a halo, because that light is hitting the ball. We're going from a circle to a sphere and creating a highlight. So I would call this the highlight. And I'm just going to continue down in a rounded direction, almost to the bottom. I'm going to go a little bit more. I'm still using my B. Side of the pencil, kind of rounded direction. Just because it's a round object, the last thing you want is any kind of straight lines. All right, I'm going to switch over to, how about 2B? And I want to get almost like the middle to have a little bit of a darker tone. If it makes it easier for you, one way to do it, if you're right or left-handed, is to actually approach it upside down, and then you're making almost like an umbrella shape or a frown shape, an arch. Sometimes I do find it easier this way. If you go outside the line like that, like me, because we are human people, not robots, then you can erase it later. Don't sweat it. Alright, that's a little bit darker. I like to build gradually. I don't just jump in with my 6B pencil and create an automatic dark tone. I do want to get a little darker here in this kind of belt area. And I also, if you notice, I'm leaving like a crescent moon kind of shape at the bottom of light, because that is what we call reflected light. So with reflected light, the light is coming down, hitting the sphere, hitting the table, and bouncing up into the object. So there's often just a little bit of a soft, hazy, light area at the bottom of a shape. Next, it's just my instinct. I gotta clean up as I go. Okay, that's a little better. Cast shadow. I'm going to put the cast shadow in, and it's going to be across. Now we could go kind of technical and look and see where our light is projected out. It's going to be a flat kind of oval shape. I got my 2B right here. Okay. I'm actually going to bring this crescent moon light part over a little bit. That's better. This is actually going to be the darkest area, right where the ball, sphere, etc. is touching the tabletop. That's where you've got the darkest part. So I'm probably I should switch to a 4B. Here we go. Right underneath. And notice my grip is like this, so that I'm able to get that, ooh, that nice dark right under there. So it looks like it's sitting on the table. I'm going to take that 4B now and switch my grip to a little bit looser so I can get that nice side of the pencil kind of shading happening. All right, I'm also going to take my 4B back into this. Notice I'm going in a soft rounded direction, and I haven't used my blending stump yet. Let's go upside down, see what happens. You could try this, see if it works for you. You might prefer to do kind of this arch versus the smile kind of shape. You got to experiment and explore and see what works for you. All right, let's see how that looks. Okay, so we have highlight, a shadow. We've got the shadow edge, which is right here. Cast shadow on the table, reflected light. I know that once I add my blending stump, it's going to get a little bit darker because the blending stump just kind of creates that blended look. And I'm afraid I do not have my blending stump handy, which happens, but I'm going to make my own with a piece of Kleenex. I like to start in the lightest area. And work towards a darker area. And you get that nice blend. Notice this is almost the white of the paper. If you were to look closely, it's got just the tiniest bit of shading. You don't want it to look like a olive. You don't want it to look like a circle. It's just a soft glow by the time you blend it. It looks, to me, it looks way better now than it did before I blended. All right, a little more. Let's get that reflected light just to be a haze. And then I'm going to come in and do the cast shadow. I think it needs to be darker. I'm going to go with my 6B and get that little, punch it up, get it a little bit darker. Oh, there you go. That's what I wanted. And I'm going to let that shadow kind of fade. Kind of fade out a little bit. I'm going to go with a touch of 6B in my shadow edge just to see if I can get it a little bit darker. We want soft transitions. Let's bring it back the 4B. If this is something you've never done before, I'm glad you're giving it a try. And if this is something that you have done before, I hope that you are taking what I'm showing you to heart and learning from it and using your prior knowledge also. Okay, I'm happy with that. I do have some tiny little erasers which I will offer to you. They're like mechanical erasers. So if that helps you get just the nice best shape possible, then I will offer you those. Kind of went a little too far right here. All right, and I would call that complete. So, happy shading. See you soon.